How did Rome become so big and important, and why do we care? Hopefully, I'll be able to answer that question for you in this video. Hi, I'm Mr. Lee, and I'll be talking about Rome and its connection to America. First, why do we even care about Rome? How's it connected to us? To answer this question, it's easier to work backward. The USA is currently the most powerful and consequential nation in the world, and before us, our parent country, Great Britain, was one of the dominant powers of the world. Much of American culture can be traced back to England. For example, the dominant language spoken in the USA is English. And we use the English or imperial measurement system of feet and inches instead of meters, which is a bit ironic since England doesn't even use feet and inches anymore. Anyway, you can trace a lot of our culture from England since America used to be an English colony. And before Great Britain was a great world power, guess which major empire controlled that little island? If you said Rome, you're right. Since it was Roman territory, you can actually trace a lot of English cultural elements to the Roman Empire. One example is the Roman alphabet, which we're all familiar with. So to summarize, the USA used to be part of the British Empire, and Britain used to be part of the Roman Empire. This explains why we use the alphabet instead of, well, whatever this is. And why we have Latin, the language of the Romans, written on our money and our monuments. It also explains why it's important to know a few things about Rome. So, on to our other question. How did Rome become such a major power? Many of us are going to mention the military, and that's all true, but I've got another big reason. To help you understand how Rome became such a great empire, first we need to learn a little bit about something very important to all of us today. The Internet. Yes, the Internet. Well, technically the Internet along with modern telecommunications technology, but for the sake of keeping things simple, the Internet. The Internet? Yes, the Internet. AKA the World Wide Web, AKA cyberspace, AKA the information superhighway. You're wondering, what's the Internet have to do with Rome? Well, just follow me down this trail for a little bit. So let me ask you a question. What can you do with the Internet? I know you can come up with lots of examples, but the answer is a lot of stuff. You can do more than just research Rome for a school essay. You can listen to music. You can secretly chat with friends in class. You can look at a satellite photo of your house from Google Earth. You can find out how many feet are in a mile when you forget. Or you can just watch funny cat videos. The Internet allows you to learn stuff, to buy stuff, to sell stuff, to share stuff. It allows goods and information to be spread quickly. This may not seem like a big deal, but just imagine life without the Internet. If I asked you to write a report about some random country, let's say Djibouti, how would you do it? If I asked you if you heard the latest song or seen the newest music video by Justin Timberlake, how would you find it? With the Internet, you can pretty much look up anything you want and have the answers immediately. Let's say I asked you to buy an inflatable rainbow unicorn for my rainbow unicorn themed pool party. You don't have to run around town looking in every store to see if they have one. You can just find one on the Internet. If soldiers on a battlefield need to quickly communicate information on the battlefield about positions or maps or photos or any other important information, they don't need to use carrier pigeons or letters. They can do so immediately using the Internet. I think you get the picture. The Internet is a very powerful thing because it allows us to share information and exchange goods quickly and easily, but I think you knew that. So what does all this have to do with Rome? The ancient Romans certainly didn't have the Internet, but they did have an information superhighway. Well, sorta. What the Romans brilliantly did that gave them such an advantage over so many of their foes was build roads. Roman roads. Before the Internet and phones and all of our fancy technology, people had to send goods and information somehow. And the only way to do that was by traveling. Traveling back then wasn't easy. You ever walk off a hiking trail or just go off on the woods on your own? There's a reason the rangers strongly advise against it. You can get lost or hurt or a bear might attack you, and no one would be around to help you because they'll have such a hard time finding your body. Roads make traveling easier. Much easier. Roads allowed armies, merchants, messengers, or regular old Roman citizens and subjects to easily travel from place to place or city to city. And when people can move around easily, that means information and goods can move around easily as well. So in that way, these roads sort of function like the Internet. A really slow version of the Internet, but it still allowed goods and information to move quickly and easily from place to place. Now, you're probably thinking, yeah, well, lots of civilizations created roads though, and that's true, but the Romans were a little different. They made a big point of making not just lots of roads, but spending lots of time and money to make sure that their roads were really good. Unlike many other civilizations, they were engineered exceptionally well and efficiently planned out. Many of the original Roman roads are still around today. They put signs and markers to help people find their way and keep them from getting lost. They were well guarded so people felt safe traveling them. So people and merchants didn't have to worry about being attacked by thieves or bears. Obviously, roads aren't equal to the efficiency or the speed of the internet, but since their roads were so well made and so well planned, it really allowed the Roman Empire to flourish. It allowed soldiers to quickly move from one place to the next. It allowed messengers to quickly travel from the capital of Rome all the way out to the furthest reaches of the empire, to deliver royal decrees and proclamations, and vice versa. It allowed merchants to easily travel from city to city selling their goods. So, aside from its military might, Roman roads played a huge role in allowing Rome to expand its territory and really impose its culture, its laws, its alphabet, its religion, and goods all across the territory. Territory which included most of Europe and included Great Britain, which in turn colonized America, which brings us to where we are today. So that's how Rome became so big and important, and that's why we care. I'm Mr. Lee, and until next time, stay curious and stay classy.